Let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to be talking about if your penis has a mind of its own. The age-old question that we all want to have answered. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. Alright, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, and of course, follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on Instagram, Snapchat, I'm Young Dago. And yeah, in this video I really want to do some deep diving somewhat. I had a very inspirational dream that I'll get into in a little bit, and it all has to do with, does your penis have a mind of its own? And you might have heard some old wise tales, or might have been like, I don't know, I was thinking with my thinking down there, I wasn't thinking up there. You got the Japanese with the, you were thinking with your short sword instead of your your mind or whatever. And when you really look into phallic worship and the beginning of time and all kinds of religions, there's a whole bunch of information that seems to prove this valid, that your penis actually might in fact have a mind of its own. But to me, like, I feel that sex is controlled beyond the phallus, because like whenever I dream and I'm in whatever spirit realm that I'm in, and like I said, we're diving deep here, man. When I go to sleep at night, my mind is constantly dripping DMT. I ain't got to snort for it, jab a vein for it. All I got to do is sleep. And when I dream, I have some of the most vivid, crazy adventures and beautiful experiences that I can, have. And I'm glad that I'm inspired to share them with you. And, like the other day, I'm watching, this, tangent before I get into it. I was watching the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer. So this might have had something to affect this particular dream that I had, which inspired me for this moment. And I'm watching Raiden and Liu Kang and this other blue guy, and it looks like a very crazy like some type of beautiful video game. And it almost makes me want to go get a machine to do it. But you know what, video games to each their own. So be as it may, the dream that I had was, like this guy, he was like in jail or something, and he had a huge, he had a huge piece of meat swinging between his legs. I mean, if you guys don't know, that's what my channel is dedicated to. I'm a spiritual coach, and I help people make their penises bigger, thicker, wider, longer, stronger, and harder. Yeah. And, I can definitely help you in that department. I do Skype sessions and all that. But be as it may, my dream, was about like this. This guy was like, he was locked up or whatever, and I don't know, he looked like Liu Kang or something. And next thing you know, his his penis was off of him. Somehow it ended up in this other sorcerer type guy's hand. And it was huge, man. It was like a big salami, like that. And the guy looks at him, and he goes, why'd you go so? He's like, why'd you go so big with it? Like something along those lines. And I know it's crazy dream, right? I mean, I'm all about making that piece huge, and I got crazy fetishes that we're gonna get into in some other deep dives. Maybe I'll let you know it. But it's more subject for other videos. You might want to check out the the one that I did right above here somewhere. So anyways, his penis was off of him, and it's in this guy's hands. He's like, why'd you go so big with it? And he goes, when I got locked up, he goes, I felt that I had to trade it in for a bigger one. And that kind of like makes you think, like, trade it in for a bigger one. Like, is this part of your body, or is it its own entity in itself? That's what really got me thinking. Like, so he had this big salami in his hand. Next thing you know, it really reattached to him. Guy had a huge hypercock, like bigger than his body. So basically, the people in prison would leave him alone because his piece was so big, that it was big, you know, it was bigger than everybody in the cell or whatever, and they're like, all right, we're not, you know, we're not messing with that guy. So I know, crazy dreams, man. Trust me, my dreams get crazier than that, man. But anyways, the inspiration for this tale, and you know where I'm at with that, and you know we're just talking about how your phallus, your penis, actually might just have its own mind, and it was just, you know, it kind of woke me up a little bit, just thinking like, what if it really does? Like, what if your penis isn't necessarily yours? They're just kind of just, you know, coexisting with its energy. Some people might say that, you know, whenever they don't know, like, you know, who they're having sex with, like, it wasn't for me, it was for him, and whatever, you know, but, you know, to each their own. I feel like sex is more on a spiritual level, man. They have that spiritual connection. The feeling of sex is beyond the penis. It's not just, you know, this body, this avatar, and I feel like you feel it in the astral realms. Like, you know, when I have dreams of when I'm flying and, you know, or floating or whatever, I can still get a hard on. And it's just like, you don't have a body, but yet, you know, like you don't have feet or something. Like you feel like you're floating, but I feel like I still have my, you know, my piece. And I make it huge and make it up to, you know, right here, and I could, you know, I make it gigantic, man. You know, I'm in my astral realms. I'm a huge giant beast, you know, stopping the concrete with a big piece of meat, you know, between the pecs. I know, man. I'm, you know, I got a whole bunch of crazy fetishes and beliefs of where I'm at with my, you know, with my dreams, and you know where I exist in other realms and possibilities, because I believe that all thoughts are things, and they manifest through this brain and through this mouth, and what I'm speaking with is coming from beyond. And I really just want to share that with you to, you know, just kind of give you another perspective, open your minds a little bit, because there's more to life than what we were told, man. It goes deep. And you know, I've always felt that sex is beyond, you know, like when you have the proper connection with your partner, it's not just, you know, you're hard and you're, you know, whatever, you're going to Pound Town and that's it. I feel like, you know, it is on your chakra system. You know, you got your third eye, you got your heart, and you got, you know, your root chakra down there. Of course, you know, I'm not going to get into all the whole chakras, but we know that your root chakra is where your penis is. And that's your sexual being, that, you know, like the I am, like, you know, it's where, you know, I feel like life starts at the, you know, from, you start from the ground up anyways, so the root is definitely something that you need to focus on. And that's why, like, my whole brand of fitness, like, I go with the root chakra. I start at the root, man. That's why I feel like you should start with your cock. You know, I want to grow from there and expand out, which is why I don't do steroids. You know, I want to like make that piece bigger and then everything else bigger. You know, that's just my philosophy, and you know, it just kind of comes in with the fascination of what I am and what I believe, and having a big piece of meat swinging between the knees and, you know, heaving in there, and that's where I'm at. So anyways, I always felt sex is beyond the, you know, beyond the piece, you know, beyond your penis itself, man. It goes into that feeling of the whole, you know, alignment, you know, like when you have the right partner. It's not just, you know, the sex, it's like it's a beautiful, magical experience. And I know it might sound like, you know, storybook or whatever, but I mean, if you're not hitting it right and having that real type of sex where, you know, you're going beyond just the, you know, the ejaculation release, which is not what I'm just, you know, I do sperm retention. You know, I don't just blow my loads on anything. I feel like my loads are worth something. I don't want to just give them to somebody that's not worthy, and I don't want to just blow them for no reason. You know, I want to, every time that I do one, I have the proper intentions, you know. And of course, you know, people out there might not do this, like, you know, they want to get one out every day, or I get multiple loads. And you know, I feel like if you want that earthquake and body shaking, just explosion, you know, you're going to want to have that charged up down there. I don't care what steroid cycle, how many Cialises that you're taking or whatever. If you want to have that huge load of a fountain of just, you know, a release, you're going to have that charged up down there. And, you know, depending on who you are and, you know, what you're doing with, you know, if you actually exercise your penis and massage your balls and really get into, you know, what you are, you know, your phallus and all that, and making yourself a better person, because this is something that I've been studying for years. I look after, you know, sex experts like Mantak Chia, and he's a Taoist from Asia. I preach him a lot. He's on the London Reel. He's got a chart about semen retention, and he says that guys in their 20s should wait every 4 days. 30s, it's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 days. I can actually put the chart up, or you can Google it, whatever. But bottom line is, by the time you get to 60, it's like you're supposed to like ejaculate once a month or something, like something crazy like that. And to me, charts, I don't agree with charts, man. He's from Asia. I always just cut it in half. So, if it's 4 days in your 20s, it's only 2 days, and I feel that every load is not created equal, especially here in the States. Like, if you're not, in control of your orgasmic release, you're not going to understand, where your level is. So it's just like, I feel most people are having just what I call a maintenance release. And, maintenance release is something that we all done, maybe not you, but like going through puberty, and it usually follows through the teens and through the 20s, and who knows, 30s, 40s, whatever. People might be doing this continuously, and it has to do with, when you ejaculate every day, to either go to sleep or to start your day or to relieve stress. And that's a maintenance load. It's not like those loads are usually just bam, just explosions. They're usually just more of a, just a whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's just usually where most people are with their release. But when you have that chi charge and just, everything lined up to that explosion, it's a fountain, all right? And when you do semen retention, your penis actually like oozes pre-cum. And I don't know if people like them, like, I don't want to do that, man. Like, whatever, to each their own. But to me, I think, to be a sexually active being, you're going to be quite virile, and, dripping pre-cum is definitely a huge sign of a virile being. Somebody that's definitely not going to be, you're not going to have issues about, popping it up at any given time if you're ready, if you're ready and charged up. And that's why I really love charging my chi. I feel like there's a lot of energy in my root chakra, and you can, manifest it through your whole body and just give yourself that energy. And sexual energy, I feel, isn't utilized properly. I know there's people out there that actually do it right and can actually feel something beyond the sex itself and transcend in the astral realms, and who knows what other types of realms that exist. Because to me, all truths are true. Thoughts can be, can be things, and the things that are coming out of my mouth and what are coming through this are, real. I mean, it's as real to me as it is to anybody. So like, me being a giant in a different realm, or any possibility is possible, and wherever you're at with your mind, I want you to know that you're a beautiful person, man, and whatever you have inside, it's real. And as long as your intentions are proper, where you don't have anything where you're trying to hurt anybody, and you want to get all deep and sciencey about, like, okay, maybe all this stuff happens because when you're younger, this and this happened, and this is why you feel this, and this is why, you gotta be, you gotta get punished whenever you have sex, or this is why you gotta get humiliated, or this is why you gotta feel like you're a god, or this is why you gotta get worshipped, or whatever. There's so many different reasons and things and quirks that make us all unique. And really, when you get under what sex really is, it's that feeling and connectivity. And that is beyond, dimensions and beyond the body. And that's why, I'm going into, if your penis really has a mind of its own, I mean, it's just like, it's something that really makes you think, man, like, is this part, does it have its own brain? Does it really want to do things that you don't want? I mean, is that insane and crazy to think? I don't know. I'm just thinking that, maybe you had situations where you're like, well, what? I don't know why, you know, like your penis showed up here, but it didn't show up here. You know what I mean? Like you had something where you're ready to go in here, but something didn't go on down there, you know? Or you're ready to go on down there and nothing's going on right here. So what's going on with that? I just say it's unalignment. You know, I mean, that's an easy, you know, that's what every guru will tell you. Oh, yeah, you aren't in alignment, my son. You know, like, whatever, you know. So maybe that, you know, that makes sense to me, that you're not aligned, that, you know, your penis might be doing something else when you're in an astral realm dream, and who knows what's going on when you're sleeping, or like when you're just, you know, having a random car ride boner or whatever, you know, whatever, however that goes. Like it's funny, man. And you know, life is meant to be enjoyed. And you know, if you ain't smiling every day and finding a reason to laugh, I mean, that's the true state of what we're supposed to be in, man. We're supposed to be happy and just have that blissful experience and just, you know, embodying love and passion. And you know, I'm passionate about my penis, man. I'm passionate about my cock and growing it bigger, thicker, wider, longer, and stronger, and naturally raising testosterone, channeling and harnessing the God within, because I know that I am a divine being, and I know that you are too. And I feel that we can channel the divine, you know, beauty and make anything manifest. So, you know, you want to be your best. Sometimes you got to go within and call to the gods and understand that you are one yourself. So, you know, self-worship and making yourself grow is a beautiful thing. And, you know, they say that, I don't know, we're going in a tangent over here, like, you know, idle hands are the devil's playground. You know, and yeah, there was a movie about it, and you might see it on Netflix or whatever. Devin Sawa, my hands. You know, he chopped his hand off, and it was like, you know, crawling all over the house or whatever. But, you know, maybe a penis is like that. Like maybe there really is something where anything's possible, you know. And I just feel that, you know, your penis is definitely, you know, part of who you are. It's part of this avatar. It's part of spirituality and sexuality and all that alignment. But I feel, like I said, everything else transcends into a different realm. And, you know, what really turns you on is something that is beyond, you know, just your penis and the sexual organs. You know, I mean, there's stuff going on in here and really deep in there. And, you know, and there, to me, there's like other like feelings of sex. Like, what is the feeling of just like being huge? You know what I mean? Maybe some bodybuilders might know what I'm talking about. Like that warm hugeness feeling of just heaving over somebody and just feeling that powerful feeling. Like, is that like, you know, I don't feel like it's just with the avatar. I feel like that huge feeling is something else, and maybe we're utilizing it with the feeling of being huge, because it's that warmness, that just powerful comfort of just like, yeah, you know what I mean? You just feel like when you got somebody that's like, you know, when you feel like that towering feeling over somebody. But then there's other people that want to, you know, they like the exact opposite. Like, you know, if I'm towering over you, the other person likes looking up at you. And that's something that makes you think, like, are those feelings beyond this? Like, what are those feelings? Like, where does that come from? And I feel like these are divine, you know, connections, divine feelings. And what we're doing with just our bodies are replicating and, you know, making these feelings from something else. Like, we got to have, you know, a concrete thing. Like, all right, this is what sex is, this is what an orgasm is, this is what, you know, I like my girls big, I like my girls small, I like whatever, I like my partners like this or that, or, you know, however that is. You know, I feel the feeling is something that is beyond the bodies that we want, you know what I mean, beyond the sex, beyond what we're, you know, beyond what we're attracted to. There's a, like, I feel like there's a natural attraction, a spiritual attraction that is beyond, you know, what we're physically doing, and it's manifested through our, you know, through these bodies. And, you know, some people don't even utilize the body. That's why you got those misaligned people that find, you know, sexual attraction to like their car or to like an amusement park ride, and, you know, I don't, you know, you know, there's a whole bunch of crazy, you know, we're a whole bunch, you know, there's a whole bunch of, you know, stories out there of how people manifest their sexuality. And, you know, you can get into the psychic Freud mentality, where everything has to do with childhood and how you were raised and, you know, all that kind of stuff to just really just rattle your brain and make it think otherwise. You know, was this really just a reason of, you know, what happened when I was 3, or why, you know, why I like the smell of feet, you know, all this type of stuff all comes from, you know, I feel like it comes from another dimension, and everything else is just kind of manifested through our, you know, our 3D avatar, 3D senses. And whether you think this is, you know, like just some collective dream, some collective experience, or if you're on the religious aspect, every idea, every thought is right. There are no wrong answers, man. You are as right as you feel. I just want to be, you know, have everybody, I intend on everybody to be more in touch with who they are and to be the best you that you can become, man. That's what I'm about here. And, you know, I feel, with this, you know, I feel like we did some deep dives, and, you know, there's definitely a whole lot of, you know, this is definitely subject for, you know, a deeper dive, you know, more, you know, focused, thought out video that I'm going to want to, you know, do in the near future. And I definitely want you guys to comment down anything crazy that you have, or anything that you find with yourself. Like, you know, do you feel like your penis has a mind of its own? Do you feel like your, you know, your vagina's talking to you? Do you feel like your body is something else, a different entity in itself? Do you feel that, you know, sex is beyond this realm? Do you feel that there's other dimensions? Anything that you think is real, and anything that you don't feel, or whatever, just, you know, type it down. Let's get the comments lit up, man. You know, I'm here for you guys. I'm a spiritual mentor. I'm a light worker. You know, I'm here for you, man. You call me a sex guru, whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, my intention is to make you your best version. That's why I have the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where we make our penises bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder. Like I said, sign up. I do Skype sessions. Follow me on my social media. You can definitely find out there. And you know what? Before I go, this, you know, I really want to say, watch your words of what you say to your, you know, your penis down there. You know, be aware of that. Like, do you send love to your penis, or are you always talking down to your penis? That's why I go with the triple D. Don't doubt your dick. Not diners, dive-ins, and drives, Guy Fieri. We're talking about don't doubt your dick, all right? Because, you know, it's something, man. There's something to it, man. Just believe in what it is. Don't doubt who he is. Don't doubt what it is. Just give it love, man. You know, I'll give you a positive affirmation before we part ways in this segment, and you can really just channel it in. Get on your chakra system. You can hold your heart, because there's a lot of energy here, and there's toroidal fields and a whole bunch of just beautiful magic that's just manifesting by the moment. And one of them that you could say to really make you just make your day and make you feel something is, I am so happy and grateful that I have a huge, beautiful penis. I love my thick, beautiful penis. I love my thick, beautiful penis. Anything along those lines that just makes you feel right to say, you know, I'm just, is a beautiful thing. So, I love my big, beautiful penis. I am so happy and grateful. I have a huge, beautiful penis. Say something like that, man, and just make them feel great down there, you know. Dedicate this day to your penis, man, you know. Really make them feel great, make them grow. Be appreciative that he's there, you know, and don't doubt your dick. You guys are beautiful. Sign up for my lessons. Get at me on the social media. Ring the bell. Tell some friends. You guys are beautiful. I love you guys. And I'm definitely going to be around, man. We got a whole bunch of crazy, exciting, beautiful experiences to share. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.